Hey everyone, today we're going to be making a simple tomato sauce. Better than what you can get in a jar or some store brand. It's real simple to make, takes no time at all, and you'll be happy you did it. So stay tuned and I'll show you how. Okay, we're going to start to heat up the oven with this pan. We're going to use 2 cans. That's why I'm using this bigger one. Otherwise, with 1 can, I can just get away with using this 10-inch frying pan. Okay, for this, we're going to be using 2 onions. I use 1 good-sized onion per can. Now, if you're not very good with chopping onions or anything else for that matter, you could use something like one of these choppers. I don't care much for using the choppers. They do a pretty good job. However, cleaning up afterwards a pain. Everything gets stuck in here and it's a pain to clean up. So I'm gonna just do old-fashioned hand chopping, although I'm not too great at it, but I'll be able to do it just fine here. You don't have to cut them up too fine, because as you start to cook them, they will dissolve and become smaller. We're also going to use some garlic here. Okay, we're going to add some olive oil to this. I don't measure, I just kind of pour it in. Add the garlic. I like using this flat wooden spoon. Helps me chop up pieces. Now, I'm not going to add the garlic into this mixture until the onions start to appear clear. Then I'll add the garlic, and once it starts to brown up, then I will start to add the sauce in. Now, I'm going to make this a meat sauce today. Even though I'm putting meatballs in here, there's going to be plenty of sauce left over to use it for later for whatever else I want, whether it's like mozzarella sticks, whatever, and I like the meat sauce. I don't have any fresh ground beef, but what I do have is some fresh made hamburger patties that I picked up at BJ's. For 1 can, I've used one of these large. They're just over a pound. For 2 cans, I'll use 2. If I was doing 3 cans, which I do once or twice a year, I would probably put in 4 if I was doing a meat sauce. But I'm just going to cook that in a separate pan so I can chop it up fine, pre-cook it, get the grease out, and then add it when I do the sauce. This isn't quite clear yet, but I'm going to add the garlic in now. You can never have too much garlic. Okay, hamburger is done. I'm going to shut off the stove for that. And we're almost ready to pour in the sauce here. Alright, I'm going to add in the sauce. For this sauce, I am using tutto rosso, peeled plum tomatoes, and a basil sauce setting. So I use 2 of these cans if I am doing it with, let's say, meatballs or sausage or something. If I'm only doing 1 can, I can get away with doing this in a 10-inch frying pan. Will fit perfectly. So I'm going to today I'm going to do these with meatballs, but we're not going to go over the meatball stuff today. So we'll be using 2 of these cans. Now, if you like a chunky sauce, you don't have to grind up the tomatoes as much as I did. You could also, if you don't have a blender, you can buy the pureed sauce, but I prefer the tomato. I feel it tastes a little better because I don't know what mixture they use for that sauce. Add about a teaspoon per can. As far as sugar goes, I add 1 tablespoon roughly per can. I'm going to add 3 because I try to reduce the acidity as much as possible. One other thing I'm going to add is just a little bit of pepper. You can add other ingredients. You don't have to add the pepper, just the garlic, the onions, salt, pepper, and sugar, and that could just be your sauce right there. At this point, I am going to add the meat. Normally I would let the sauce cook for about 45 minutes. I don't like a liquidy sauce. I like it to be thicker. If you don't let it cook about 45 minutes at a higher simmer, it just becomes watery, and it's not my thing. I'm gonna add in the meatballs right here. Maybe I'll do something on that another time. There's 16 meatballs there. This isn't Mama Monty's recipe for meatballs. Maybe I'll do hers on another video. Now this is with the meatballs, probably needs to cook a little longer, maybe up to an hour. So we're gonna let this start to cook, and we'll catch up to you in a little bit. One other mention here is you can put in some fresh basil and parsley. It's not for the taste, it's for the aroma. A lot of people love the aroma, and then basically before you serve it, you take those out. Another thing you could do is cut some up finely and just sprinkle it on the pasta for a little design, you know, make it look all nice and pretty if that's what you want to do. This has only been cooking for about a half an hour. It's still got a way to go. Some people will brown the meatballs in a pan first. I don't like doing that. I cook it 100% in the sauce. I like it better that way. I've tried it both ways. This is the way I like it. That's the way I was taught. So this has been cooking for about an hour now. So I'm going to start to cook the pasta, and by the time that's done, the sauce is going to be perfect. This is the only time you have to flavor the water, you know, while it's boiling. So you probably only need about a teaspoon. I put a little bit more than that. Normally we cook penne pasta. This takes about 11 minutes for al dente. Today I want to cook the rigatoni. This takes about 14 minutes. And because it takes 14 minutes, it's going to give the sauce and the meatballs a little more time to cook and for the liquid to evaporate, so it's a thicker sauce, because that's the way I prefer it, is a thicker sauce. I do not like the watery sauce. Okay, we got our rapid boil going here. I'm not going to cook this whole thing, maybe half. It's already coming up to a boil again. That's good. Let's give me some time. What would making sauce be without stealing a little bit of that sauce and testing it out by dipping it in some bread? Good. You gotta make sure you get that sauce or butter, if that's how you eat your pasta, in there quick. Because if you don't, pasta's gonna stick together. Get some of that meat in there. There we go. This is all I have for cheese. I don't have any pecorino romano, but this will have to do. Yeah, I know what you're saying. That's a lot of cheese. That's good. Excellent. Try a little meatball. Meatball sucks in a lot of that flavor. Well, that's what I got for you today. You know, it does take about 45 minutes or an hour, 15 maybe, if you're doing meatballs. Far better than jar sauce. I recommend that you go out and try making this yourself. You'll be surprised if you've never made sauce before. You say, hey, I want to go out and get ragu or whatever the other jar sauces are. This isn't fancy, but it tastes great, and you'll be happy you did it. Thanks for sticking with me. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please do so, and I will see you on the next one. Take care.